It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Mix Podcast.
You talk about being distracted. Y'all talking about the NBA being a distraction. Fucking J. Cole put out a song last night and everybody's distracted. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what was going on. I'm catching all backstory here. You know, I saw the tweet from the young lady named No Name. My niece Nyla put me on because Nyla was putting me on to No Name's music a while ago. She was saying how I would really like No Name because she's dope and she speaks for something. And No Name posted a tweet and she said, poor black folks all over the country are putting their bodies on the line in protest for our collective safety. And y'all favorite top selling rappers not even willing to put a tweet up. Niggas' whole discographies be about black plight and they're nowhere to be found. J. Cole put out a song yesterday called Snow on the Bluff, where he's basically, I guess, replying to her tweet. And J. Cole basically said, he even tweeted out this morning, I haven't done a lot of reading and I don't feel well equipped as a leader in these times, but I do a lot of thinking. And I appreciate her, as in No Name, and others like her because they challenge my beliefs. And I feel that in these times, that's important. And I was listening to J. Cole's song and listening to what he said about No Name. And I understand what all the black women are saying that, you know, at a time where black women are being attacked and, you know, getting found dead and things of that nature. Yeah. It just sounds kind of crazy for a man to be being passive aggressive towards a woman in a sense. And I get that. I totally understand that, right? You got to read the room sometime. But I also agree with J. Cole in the sense that why did people make J. Cole out to be a revolutionary?
I think
who died and made J. Cole Tupac?
I think J. Cole leaned into it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think so? You don't think the music has been woke? You don't think the music has had messaging?
Not just his mainstream. I'm talking about, like, do you listen to his, like?
Yes, but not only do I listen to J. Cole's music, I listen to J. Cole's interviews. And I'm on record. I've said it before. When I listen to J. Cole's interviews, I've always heard a brother who's still trying to figure it out. He's not even able to articulate what he feels sometimes. He just knows he feels it. That's why I think the pen is so good for a brother like that. Because when he sits down and he can write those rhymes, he can tell you what he thinks. He can tell you what he believes, right? But he may not have the answers or the solutions to the problem. You know what I mean? Yeah. He can just tell you what he's feeling and what he's experiencing. But they exalted J. Cole as this leader of a revolution. Like when the protests broke out, they're like, where J. Cole at? Where Kendrick at? Like, I don't expect them to be there. You know what I expect these guys to be?
Making music.
In the studio, making the soundtrack to the protests.
I'm waiting for Kendrick's now.
I'm waiting for Kendrick too. I'd love to hear some Kendrick music. Too. But guess what? If he don't put out no music, I'm not tripping. I'm not forcing Andrew to do a set during quarantine. You know what I'm saying? Andrew, where your new material at? What if Andrew fucking depressed? What if Andrew got anxiety? What if Andrew going through some shit? What if Andrew don't feel like being creative in this moment?
They don't see that though.
They
don't see celebrities as that though.
That is true, but like, I'll be honest, like we did a couple pieces on what's going on, you know, and we thought it was important to do it. And we used the platform that we have, and I did everything that I thought that I could do within my power, and using the skill that I have and the platform and the access I have to kind of explain these things. And we did it, you know, Alex, my guy Mark, like that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to contribute to this movement in whatever way we can. I think that being said, I've never been an activist. Y'all know that that's not my thing. I never claimed to be an activist, and maybe some people thought of J. Cole as an activist and then not seeing him or again, I don't know enough about his music to make an accurate statement, but maybe they thought not seeing him as present or something like that was like, yo, you were always here and loud before, but we haven't seen you doing this now. Maybe they were questioning that.
I mean, he was
again, I don't know enough to say, but I'm asking.
But he was at a couple of protests. And I think sometimes, man, we mistake support for activism.
Right.
You know, if I show up to a protest, it doesn't mean that I'm an activist. It means that I'm showing support.
Right.
If I'm standing in a fucking car, if I'm standing in a garage, I'm not a car. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you see me randomly standing in your garage, you should call somebody. But I'm just simply saying, like, just because I show up to a protest doesn't mean I'm an activist. I'm just here to support.
You know what it is?
I think guys like J. Cole do.
You know what it is? I think it's like, when you create and I hate to talk about comedy and stuff like that, like art, because I think it's kind of like bougie. But like when you create content, let's say, in the way that you do or I do, we reflect on the culture, right? When I mean the culture, I don't just mean like black culture. I mean like whatever's happening within culture at the time.
Absolutely.
If it's Trump, if it's Biden, if it's protest, whatever it is. So for me to put out a video or a piece that didn't reflect what was going on with George Floyd would be phony for me, because I always reflect on what's going on. So I feel like, of course, J. Cole, if he puts out music, he's going to reflect what's going on, right? Because that's just kind of what he does naturally, no? Like, I feel like if you're putting out party songs right now, you're missing the point a little bit.
Bro, Little Baby dropped fire. What's the name of that Little Baby record? Little Baby song so goddamn hard, and he rapping about what's going on right now. What's the name of that record, Taylor?
Hold on.
Oh, that's right. He just dropped an album, right?
Man, that shit's so hard. No, it wasn't an album. It's just a song.
Oh.
Little Baby dropped a hard-ass record. Meek Mill dropped a hard-ass record with Other Side of America. But guess what? That's what those brothers
The Bigger
and sisters...
Picture.
That's what
The bigger picture?
The Bigger Picture.
Bigger picture. That shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, if he was moved to make that, fine. If Andrew, you're moved to make those type of sketches or that commentary, fine. But you can't force people to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like you can't force people to be at protests. And I saw people saying, oh, J. Cole, you know, he's not a real leader and this and that. And I'm like, why is he not a real leader? Is he not a real leader because he admitted he don't read all the time? Like I saw that tweet. That tweet was wild, which I thought was hilarious, where he was like, you know, he don't really, I read it a little while ago, but it's just like, because he doesn't read, doesn't make him a great leader. Like, I don't think that matters. I think great leaders don't set out to be a leader. I think they set out to make a difference. Like, it's never about the role, it's about the goal.
You know how
Cole has always set out to make a difference.
Yeah, I see it. Let me ask you this question. Like, you know how like if your boss treats you like shit at work, or whatever the authority figures treat you like shit at work, you know how sometimes the husband comes home or the wife comes home and then treats the family like shit?
Absolutely.
And she wants to treat the boss like shit, but she can't because they're an authority figure. So she ends up treating the people like shit that she can, right? Which are the people closest to them. I wonder if that's kind of what's happening right now, which is like people are just really furious that the authority figures, you know, the police are treating black people like shit.
Yeah,
and since you can't act out on the police officers outside of telling them to suck your dick, you're like, all right, well, we got to take out this anguish on the people closest to us. And J. Cole might be one of those people.
J. Cole,
you know what I mean?
J. Cole said something this morning in one of those tweets. He said, we all got to be easy with each other. We all got to be kind to each other, or something, be nice to each other. And he's absolutely right. My brothers, my sisters, everybody's hurting.
Yeah.
Everybody is in pain.
Yeah.
Everybody's tender right now. Like, everybody is literally out here trying to do their best. Yeah. I don't think J. Cole had any ill intention when it came to, you know, replying to No Name. No Name is a rapper, right?
Yeah.
So J. Cole did what he did. J. Cole rapped. He didn't tweet. J. Cole don't be tweeting crazy like that. No Name, salute to her. She posted a tweet and she expressed herself. And guess what? She didn't name no names, but a hit dog will holler. So J. Cole said himself, he felt like he wasn't doing enough.
Right.
So No Name was absolutely right. No Name hit one of J. Cole's pain bodies in that moment, because J. Cole probably is sitting around hurt, vulnerable, trying to figure out a solution to things and feel like he wasn't doing enough. So he went in the studio and he expressed himself. Yeah. I think that J. Cole was just using that as an entry point to let everybody know, I'm not the leader of this movement. Right. I am not the activist leader that y'all think I am. I'm just simply trying to figure it out. And I think that's where we get things fucked up. Is J. Cole a leader of the new school when it comes to rap? Hell yeah. Right. For the past decade, J. Cole's been a part of that three-headed monster with Drake and Kendrick. Yeah. But does that mean he's Tamika Mallory? No. Right. Does that mean he's my son? No. Right. Does that mean he's Linda Sarsour? No. Does that mean he's Philip Agnew? No. He's not one of those activists that's out there on the front lines. He just shows up to protest in support. Y'all made him that. And now when a person doesn't meet your expectation of them, you're disappointed. That's the problem with us right now as a people. We have an expectation of people that we create in our own mind. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then they don't meet our expectation that we gave them. And then we get disappointed when they're like, yo, I didn't ask for none of this, man. I just wanted to make really cool music that had a message in it. Like,
that's it.
I think you hit the nail on the head there.
He said, I don't read a lot, but I think a lot. He's a thought leader.
Yeah.
You listen to J. Cole's music, he's a thought leader.
Yeah.
He's able to provide soundtracks for things that are going on.
Yo, I think you're right about that, man. But I really also think it has to do with like just being hurt and having no outlet for the anger and then touching the people that are closest to you, right? Like, because that's what we do. Like when we're in a bad mood, I find myself doing this in a bad mood. Like, and it sucks. But if I'm in a bad mood and then like a friend of mine does something or like puts a can somewhere where it shouldn't be or whatever, I'm like, yo, you just gonna leave that there? I don't give a fuck if they leave a can on the table, but I'm lashing out because I got some shit going on in my life.
Yeah.
So I could totally.
And I look at all the sisters online, and the sisters are saying things like, J. Cole got the nerve to tell black women to be patient. Listen, I totally get it. I totally understand why black women, don't have patience with us anymore. I totally understand. But I just think we all need to be patient with each other because whether we realize it or not, we're all in this together. Black men are getting killed. Black women are getting killed. Like trans people are getting killed. Like we're all in this together. Like we don't we're not each other's enemies.
Bro, it's going to be tough for the person who says it, and they're going to have to find a way more eloquent way to say it than the way I'm going to say it. But like in a situation like this, you can't have an all lives matter approach. You have to have a specific goal, and some people are going to have to sacrifice. Like I've been talking to friends, I can't say where they work, but they work in, certain industries. And they're like, how do we affect change within our industry, right? People who are part of like big corporations. And they literally said at these tables, they've gone, you know what? We're going to make this the prime focus. We're going to make black equality the prime focus. And you know what that means? That means the cancer kids got to take second fiddle. That means women's rights got to take second fiddle. That means that special needs got to take second fiddle. That means we're going to ignore those other issues because this specific issue, and if we're going to do anything to change it, requires all our focus. And that's the whole idea between Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. But you can't All Lives Matter your own movement.